Hi, I'm JD and welcome to my channel. Last week on my vlog, the winning vote for today's vlog topic was Alphasmarts. What it is, how I use it, how it works. It's a really great writing tool that I absolutely love using. So I just wanted to talk to you a bit about it today and kind of show you all the ins and outs and how it works. So let's get started.
So this is my Alphasmart, and it is a Alphasmart Neo 2. And what I like in particular about this model of Alphasmart is that it will count words for you. So now I have two-touch. I have the two-touch power on option, so I have to hold the inner key to turn it on. And now I do that because throwing it into my bag a lot to write on the go, the on and off button can get hit and then it turns on and it can run the battery down. But one of the greatest things about these is the battery life. I think I replace the batteries like once a year, once every year and a half, depending on how much I'm using it and what's going on. And as you saw when it started up, there was a, let's turn it back on. There's a little battery indicator right there showing you how much battery life is left. And the cool thing about these is it just takes, I've got the screw in there right now, but they just take like AA, AAA batteries. I can't remember exactly which. I think they're AA's, but it just takes a couple of those in this little bar area here, and that's it. So you don't have to worry about recharging it or the battery running dead. It gives you tons of battery life and warning before the battery dies. So basically, an Alphasmart is a keyboard, a screen, and a word processor. So when it has these inputs here, I honestly don't know what all of them do except for this one right here, which is the one I use to transfer my work from the Alphasmart to my laptop. But let's get started. So you see, so it has a couple of different options. Unfortunately, my arrow keys on this particular device are broken. That is the only thing about, throwing it in my bag and just going with it. The keys are kind of flex, or the keys are a little fragile, but it's just this down arrow key that's broken, so I don't use it. That's actually one of the fun things about this. So I've got it here. Let me see if I can open a file so you can see. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, there we go. So you can kind of see, this is old. This is an old draft. But you can see I have all these different file keys right here. And it has up to 8 files. And each file, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think each file will hold up to 10,000 words. So you could easily write a whole nano novel on here without transferring or deleting anything. The only downside is it's not easy to skip around in the text, which it could be a con or a plus. Because it's so difficult to move. Oh, that one. Ooh, whoa, that's fun. You can see that one was broken. Because it's so difficult to move around in the text, it makes it hard for editing. So for during Nano, or if you're just trying to get a draft done, a first draft done, you just gotta keep moving forward. It's hard to go back and edit, but it's hard to go through and move the cursor to skip around in the text. So if you're one of those writers that, likes to do a little bit of an outline and then go back and fill in and go back and fill in and kind of layer, it might not be for you unless you want to just get that first layer down. but writing wise, it's really easy to write on. You can switch to a new file, and I can write, Mary had a little lamb, and it's just like writing on a regular laptop keyboard, which I love. It does have a little bit of a mechanical feel to it, like a mechanical keyboard, that kind of sound. So if you need complete silence to write, it might not be for you. But it's just I love it because it's not connected to the internet. It just has the screen. It only shows you a limited amount of text, so it just keeps forcing you to go forward with your novel writing or your story writing. Now, this is the Neo 2, which what I really like about it is if I do Control W, it then gives me the number of words in this document. It also gives me the number of pages, how full this document is, I believe. That's what that percentage there does. How many paragraphs, how many characters, and whatnot. Let's see what's more. Yeah, okay, so it looks like, so instead of like 10,000 words, I can have up to 50,000 characters, over 50,000 characters available. So total, how many used, how many available total. But like I said, I hardly ever get to that point where I don't think I've ever gotten to the end of a file. I've always transferred it off and cleared out the file before I hit the end of the file. So I'm gonna hit escape, and I come back to Mary. Mary had a little lamb. Now, to clear complete file, there is just a clear file, and it asks, are you sure you want to clear the contents of this file? Yes or no. I'm going to go yes, and it just clears it out. Now, there are a ton of other applications on here, or a couple of other applications on here, and I'm not entirely sure what. I just don't use them. So, but you can see here there's like how to use it, how to transfer, some alpha command shortcut keys, and whatnot. So, and you can see this is the Neo by AlphaSmart. Now, here's the fun thing about AlphaSmarts. They no longer make them. I hit the space key. They no longer make them, so it can be a little hard to find them. Best places I've found to find an AlphaSmart is either Amazon, like in the used section, or on eBay as well. Now, of my particular AlphaSmarts, I have my mother-in-law actually worked with the school district, and they had a bunch that they were getting ready to sell, and so I was able to purchase them straight from a school district that had been using them. So that was nice. And then I just had to find some transfer cables. So this is the transfer cable. You can see one end is a regular USB, just a regular USB 2, I guess. I don't know which USB style that is. And then the other is like the printer cable end. So, yeah. So that's fun. I can't get it to focus. But it's like that boxy square cable. So what I just do is I like to go ahead and plug this in. And because my laptop is nice and weird, I'm gonna move this over so you can see. I have a MacBook Pro that is fairly recent, and it does not have a regular USB. It only has USB-C ports on it, so I have to have this little adapter. But if you just have a regular USB port, you could just plug it in and go. And of course, I got to turn it around because I always forget that. So here is the fun thing. Okay, so you can see it's making a USB connection. And when you have it on like this, it means you can type on this and use this as a keyboard, and it will type on your laptop as if you were using like a Magic Keyboard or a USB keyboard. It's just connected. So actually, I'm going to unplug it. I'm going to go ahead and turn it on again. And I'm going to switch to an open file. Let's see which files I have on here that isn't crazy. Okay, so on this file, I only have these 2 sentences. Oh, sorry, 3 sentences maybe. So I like to go ahead and go to my file, turn it on, go to my file, and then I plug it in. When you plug it in, it makes a USB connection, and then it asks, it's attached to a Mac. It'll also say, if you attach it to a PC, it'll say attach to a PC. Press send to transfer file to. Now this is where it gets tricky. You want to make sure you do not interrupt the transfer. So, okay, so let's see. I'm going to have to freehand this now. So I'm going to open up. Open a new Google Doc, and I will show you how this works. All right. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and hit Command Option, and I'm going to go to this first file because I think it had more on it, so you can kind of see what's going on. All right, and now I'm going to move my phone. So this is going to be fun because we're going to freestyle here. All right. So we're going to get a little fun here. So I've got, it's attached to the PC, and I'm going to do the file transfer for file 1. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you here on my big monitor. I have a Google document open. Now this will transfer into any word processing file. If you wanted to open a Word document or a Pages document, even if you wanted to go straight into Scrivener, it will work. You just get to a point where you have your cursor where you want the text to go, and then we will push send. Boom. And then you can see it retypes the text that you've put onto your AlphaSmart. And you can see the percentage, and you can see it going. But the problem is you don't want to interrupt it. So you kind of want to set it up, push send, and walk away from your computer, because if I were to click out of this document, it would continue putting that text in. Like, say I opened a new window and wanted to search for Wattpad, it would start typing that text into the search wherever you put that cursor. So you just kind of want to set it and walk away and wait for it to be done. And then when it's done, it just goes back to, press send, press Command Option, send file 1. And after you've sent it, it is still in your, here, let me pop this out. It's still in your AlphaSmart until you clear the file. So I'm going to go ahead and push clear file. Yes. And the file is clear.
That's basically it. The great thing about AlphaSmarts is they can go anywhere, and you don't need a power outlet. All you need is, like, if you wanted your plotting notes on hand, and then all you need is your AlphaSmart. Now, a few things about mine. It did not come in this color. I took it apart when I first got it, and I spray painted the casing with just a a plastic spray paint from Home Depot. I think I went with a matte and then a glossy black on the back. I kind of regret that. I also did not let the back dry completely before I started putting it back together. I was a little impatient. But this AlphaSmart has been with me for a long while. So, you know, if you're worried about like my keys falling off, it's because I've had it forever. I want to say, because I took it with me and to Osaka on my first trip to Osaka, and I used it to write on the Shinkansen. And so that was 2 trips ago to Japan, which means that was like 2014 maybe. So I've had it for almost 4 or 5 years at least, and it's held up really well. So, and like I said, the arrow key, I don't use it, so I'm not really worried about it being broken. Having the AlphaSmart is very handy because there's times when I want to get away from the computer to write because distractions, internet, the other 1,050 things on my to-do list that involves being online, and whatnot, Facebook. It can be hard just to turn it off just to write. So being able to take an AlphaSmart and go sit in a cafe or, you know, Starbucks to write really helps. And I like handwriting and writing in a notebook, and that's great, but then you have to type it all up again. And so if you don't want, an AlphaSmart is a nice little way to kind of get away from the computer without having to retype everything from handwriting in a notebook. So that was just a quick little overview of my AlphaSmart and how I use it. I use it mostly for rough drafts. Like I said, I don't edit on it. It's great for sprinting because I can check my word count on this particular model. Thank you for watching today. I will be putting a post up on my Patreon page for topics for next week's vlog, so be sure to check that out. I'm also on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter, and I will see you guys next week. Thanks. Bye.